Let's go here at the Brickyard.
Everybody tucks in line up front. Now they start thinking about making their moves. Will Power in that black car looks outside. Grosjean in the purple car up the inside.
Great work, Pato Award.
VK made a move up the outside. He switched from the inside lane to the outside. They all get through the first corner clean.
Colton Herter in that yellow and black Gainbridge Honda. He's racing, goes up the inside of Palou. There's VK in the Sonax, the white and red and black car.
VK was side by side with his teammate Connor Daly, airborne further back. I believe that was Scotty McLaughlin in the number 3 Team Penske. Meanwhile, Colton Herta there in the black and yellow car making a move on the rookie Lundgaard.
Alex Palou just tried to make a move on Jack Harvey, and we got a car off. Chilton, who qualified well, goes off at turn 7.
All the way through the field, Lee, side by side to the back. Jimmy Johnson has his elbows out today after his best qualifying performance, I think, of the season so far.
Keep an eye further back, the familiar orange and blue machine of Scott Dixon. I think we were remiss to mention that he started 26th. Here's the Sealmaster car of Ed Jones coming off his season's best result in Nashville last week, right there. And Felix Rosenquist goes up the inside of Sebastian Bourdais. Marty.
There is something wrong with Alex Palou, the championship leader, and he just came on the radio and said, we have no power. He said a moment ago, something is wrong with the engine, and then they said, go to mixture 3, and then he said, no, we have no power now. He might be dead in the water here, guys, or at least limping around. He seems like he's at speed, but he said something is wrong with the engine in the 10 car.
Seems to be holding his own right now. He's not under any pressure.
Clear by 20.
Clear by 20. He's got a nice gap to the car behind him. So right now, it's at speed. And here comes Rinus VK down the inside of Simon Pagenaud. 2 abreast, they get through there clean.
Smart move from Pagenaud. That bright yellow Menards car to leave the space and avoid conflict. But guys, on the opening lap, look towards the back. That white and pink car of Scott McLaughlin gonna go full send. I mean, that's a proper double. He lands the backside of that chicane curve.
Nearly took Jimmy Johnson with him right there. Check this out, watch.
On board with Johnson.
Watch the front wing here. Whoa!
Clear.
Wow.
Right side.
Good work from Jimmy to get out of it.
A couple Supercross teams might be taking note of that move. That was slick.
Oh, look at Hunter Ray. Got a nice little draft coming on the front straight. He's going to pop out here. 2 cars pop out. Graham Rahal, Hunter Ray, making a move down the front straightaway on Sato.
Graham Rahal and Ericsson. Here
Left
is the
side,
Hunter Ray Sato
left
battle.
side,
Oh, some comms contact.
Side, still there.
Both these guys, Indy 500 winners and veterans to know that you cannot risk damaging your car this early. 3 laps into an 85-lap race. Now Rosenquist has a run.
He's going to pop out here and take a shot in the brake zone. Oh, that's big braking by Sato.
And not
wow.
1, but 2. Rosenquist goes through on Newgarden.
Something must be wrong with Newgarden. He lost 3 positions there, so something's going on with his car. Look, he's off the pace.
Oh boy, Chilton having a look. The drivers that are on the softer red tires to start this race know that this is a huge opportunity early to make moves on the drivers, the majority of the field, which has opted to start on the harder Firestone black tire. This battle with Connor Daly and Simon Pagenaud has been going on for a while. Lucky for Daly to make it through the first corner. Last time we were here in May, he had a great qualifying result in 6th, taken out, I believe, by Pagenaud in the first corner as Newgarden goes off with Chilton.
Yeah, Newgarden has been having issues from the green flag. He got passed by a couple cars. Here's his teammate right now, going to try to get him on the front straightaway. Dirty tires for Newgarden. Now he blocks to the inside. He's going to force his teammate to go to the outside here.
Kev?
Ryan Hunter-Ray's best result of the season last weekend in Nashville in 4th. He's one of the early stoppers. We were hearing about 12 as the number to not have to do something really weird to be able to make it on a common 3-stop strategy. So Hunter-Ray is in and out quickly.
Well, Joseph Newgarden in the XPEL Chevy not making life easy for his new teammate, Scott McLaughlin.
He was so mad after qualifying.
But you saw, sorry, just trying to not get hit out here.
Trying not to get hit, but Newgarden now has dropped down to 19th. Look at this.
Chilton sends it up the inside, fully locked up, and Newgarden at this point just trying to protect his Expel car. He is thinking points, he's thinking championship. He knows he can ill afford any contact at this stage, especially with this blue Carlin car of Max Chilton just firing up the inside.
Now this is about a willpower on the alternate tires. Can he take the lead from Pat O'Ward?
He's going to send it right here, Lee. Looking down the inside. Here he comes.
Look out. Power to the lead. Awesome move from the Verizon Chevy driver. Now, can the youngster respond is the question.
It might not happen straight away, but I think Marty called it. The reason O'Ward pitted a little earlier than we expected, they couldn't do the pace on the Reds in the second half of the stint. If O'Ward can stay tight here in about 10 laps, Will Power should, in theory, start to struggle on the Reds, if in fact it's an apples-to-apples comparison.
So taking over the lead of the race is the rookie for Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing, Christian Lundgaard, who is doing well, recovering from food poisoning last night, qualified on the second row, just blew everybody away. And Piers Phillips, the president of Rahal Letterman Lanigan, said, I've been watching this young Danish driver for about 8 months. And when the opportunity arose, he's an Alpine F1 young driver in their academy, and boy, has this guy got some skills.
Tell you who the guy to watch is right now. Simon Pagenaud just ran a second a lap quicker than Lundgaard. He is chasing down Lundgaard. Lundgaard comes to the pits.
Top 5 in the race, Kevin Lee, have not yet pitted. Here is Lundgaard to change that.
And it's very fortunate for him that this is a stop not under yellow or under green, because he's not done these type of pit stops. Yes, there are stops in F2, but it's a different type of pit box. They're taking out a little bit of front wing. He survived the first thing, a rolling start. He said, I feel a lot better that I'm on the second row and I can see ahead of me than if I would have started mid-pack.
Inside front guy made a wing change. The guy on the outside decided not to. So a little bit of imbalance in that front wing, Townsend.
Yeah, but most importantly, the driver with 0 pit stop experience in IndyCar. No mistakes, totally smooth. This kid is the fastest learner I think I've ever seen in this sport. Unbelievable debut weekend so far. Let's see how he blends out.
He's going to blend out with his teammate right now, Graham Rahal, right there, right behind him here. So these two are going to fight each other now.
Well, the greatest Danish racing driver of all time is Tom Christensen, the 9-time Le Mans 24-hour winner. I asked Tom a couple of nights ago, I said, tell us about Lundgaard. What do you make of him? He said he is a super talented young guy, comes from racing heritage. His dad was a rally driver and a rally champion in Denmark, and he has come to IndyCar from the F2 world, from the European open wheel world. He lives in the UK, and he has this blend. Here goes VK on Ryan Hunter-Reay. That was a nice move.
Yeah, he's very aggressive. Made that same move to win the race earlier in the year, but back to Lundgaard. This guy has definitely sent shockwaves through the open driver market, Townsend.
Indeed. Rosenquist to pit lane, Marty.
Just to show you how wide these windows are, Townsend, remember Scott Dixon first pitted on this first stop of the race at lap 10. We're at lap 19, working lap 20 right now. Rosenquist coming down pit road. You're going to see all the drivers who have yet to pit, which include Simon Pagenaud, Max Chilton, and Joseph Newgarden coming down pit road this lap likely.
Nice pass by Graham Rahal on his teammate. Used the push to pass. Now he sets sail for Connor Daly.
Hey, and when you consider where Graham started, 16th in the 1Q Honda, to overtake his teammate who started 4th, it's good going.
Rahal checking his mirrors, puts a little bit of gap on the rookie.
Okay, we're still in mix 3. If you want to close the gap for a lap, that's fine, but we need to find our way back to mix 1.
And Lee, I'm just curious to finish the thought on Lundgaard. You said he's got a great combination of...
He's got an interesting combination of a Danish accent, which is his native tongue, but he's lived in the UK for so long that he speaks certain words with a British accent.
Done an amazing job. And one of the things I note, Paul, track temp on 116 degrees. Tires coming in super fast, along with Pagenaud, Marty, super fast into his box.
Yeah, leader Simon Pagenaud coming down pit road. They started on alternates. They go to alternates again for the first stop of the race. Joseph Newgarden also pitting here. These guys should cycle out about 10th or 11th, somewhere in that range. They won't cycle out back in the lead, but these guys making the long run here on this first stop of the day, trying to gain a little bit of track position.
And oh man, those Penske guys are fast in the pit lane. We'll see where Joseph Newgarden and his teammates cycle out. But now Herta has now moved nicely up through the field into 4th place. Cold tires, hot tires, nice little battle here.
Graham closing down, 3 back.
Connor Daly in the US Air Force Chevrolet for Ed Carpenter Racing, lining up a move here on Pagenaud to turn 7.
Oh, locks up a little bit.
Oh!
Runs it off big time.
Keep turning, keep those tires rolling too. That's a straight line. That's a kid that knows this track like the back of his hand. He knows the fastest way between 2 points is a straight line. Let's see if he can hold off Lundgaard. Lundgaard, as Daly has grass all over his tires.
Benefactor of all of that was Graham Rahal, got by the both of them in that move.
And lurking in the background is the Nashville winner, Marcus Ericsson. Max Chilton in for his first stop of the day. So now everybody has finally stopped. Colton Herta and Pato O'Ward
for second place. So the guy who's on the move is Colton Herta right now.
These two were teammates at Andretti Autosport back in Indy Lights days. And they are two examples of the changing guard in IndyCar in 2021. 5 of the top 10 in the championship points have joined this series in the last 2 or 3 years.
Youth movement in full force. Let's take a replay look at this textbook move from Colton Herta.
Surprising Pato didn't really fight him that hard. He just might have realized he's on reds, I'm on blacks, and I'm just going to have to wait till later on in this run to come back.
Well, and I think that the way Pato had to pit a little early on reds almost suggested that he burned those tires off a little too quickly. That's been an issue we've seen with O'Ward earlier this season.
We're on the road course and we are watching a pretty enthralling situation unfold here, Marty. On lap 47, Power had a 9.5 second lead. It has come down now on lap 55, almost 4 full seconds.
Look at that. I mean, a 4-second drop, and Will Power not happy. They asked him a moment ago, how's the car? He said, really good when we're in clean air, meaning taking the shot at James Hinchcliffe. Not happy with him, who's obviously slowed down Will Power to try and help out his teammate right there. Colton Herta is Andretti Autosport teammate, and he has done it. He has slowed Will Power down. Power cannot get around the 29. This is going to be interesting with one stop left that's coming up in about 5 or 6 laps or so, 29 laps to go, and Power, who looked dominant, has a lead that is shrinking every lap.
I'll tell you what, Herta's tires are going away quick too. We just watched him step out sideways 3 or 4 times getting onto the front straightaway, so he is desperately, Townsend, trying to catch Will Power, but using those tires up big time.
And I'm sure the crash with such a dominant performance last weekend in Nashville, up until that crash, factors heavily into the push, the hunger. The taste of a win is in Colton Herta's mouth right now as you see push to pass seconds remaining. Herta with the advantage. Let's take a look at Nashville. Just 6 days ago, he was on pole, fastest every session, but found himself unlucky on pit strategy with respect to yellows, and then threw it all away right here. Huge contact into the wall. And a devastating result. You can see the reaction inside the ARMR safety truck. Now, Marty, as these guys get to their last pit stops, who has fresh rubber out of the top 5?
Oh, coming rapidly for Colton Herta this last pit stop of the day. They will have used red, so will Will Power, but the guys who have sticker red tires, the alternate tires, remain Grosjean, Pato O'Ward, also Alex Palou. But talking about Colton Herta, again, he told me I'm having a tough time forgiving myself for what happened last week, but this is real-time therapy. Another shot to be able to win a race for Colton Herta. A battle a little bit further back between Alexander Rossi and Jack Harvey, but Colton Herta, his dad Brian Herta told me he put the car on his back for qualifying. We completely guessed at the race setup today. I guess they guessed right. They have a shot to win this race and beat Will Power.
That was a move by Alexander Rossi on Jack Harvey for 6th. So Rossi continues the climb. This is VK and Hunter Ray. Feels like this battle's been going on forever.
VK's been battling everybody all race long. He's going to try and over-under here.
Looking left side.
Ahead of these two guys is Scott Dixon. Let's keep in mind Dixon started 26th. He now runs 15th. And we are caution free. of the 10 races run so far in IndyCar on the road course here, 3 have gone caution-free. It kind of feels like it's another one of those days.
And in the last 8 races, 7 times the guy that's led the most laps has not gone on to win. So statistics are telling us, keep watching as Power's gap to Colton Herta is under 5 seconds. Paul, he's got to be so frustrated behind the wheel.
All right, check this out. We got some radio on Will Power. He is mad.
I am focusing for this guy's me, man. He's getting me back to Herta.
So with all this debate about how he can get around James Hinchcliffe, how he's holding him up, Townsend, if you were Ron Rzucki, the strategist for Will Power, would you maybe pit him a little bit shorter here than you normally would? You may run a couple more laps, maybe 4 or 5 more laps, but would you bring him in earlier just to eliminate this problem? Just come to pit road as soon as you can make it.
Well, a lot of it depends on where Will Power would come out if they did pit him early. If he pitted right now, he'd come out right in that Hunter Ray VK battle, which would be a disaster for average pace. So they're looking at that. I don't think they have that option, Marty.
Look, the bottom line here is Will Power is not close enough for James Hinchcliffe to just move over and get out of the way. James is trying to hang on to the lead lap. He's under no obligation to just get out of the way.
Power has lost 5 seconds. 9.5 down to 4.5.
Here's the other thing Power's got to worry about. There's Colton Herta, of course, but as Marty reported, you have Grosjean, Award, and Palou with sticker reds for their final stint. As things stack up, the odds for Power to cruise to victory are slipping away.
He's just not that close, though. He's got to get closer to really put James under pressure. Like, that's a big gap right there.
But he doesn't want to use up push to pass that he might need later on to close out this win. So just stuck between a rock and a hard place, Kevin. What do you got?
Christian Lundgaard, the 20-year-old 2-time F2 winner, has found the sledding a little bit harder in race conditions after being so fast yesterday on debut and qualifying 4th. He's been running 14, 15, 16. I can tell it was a handful, but he does have sticker red Firestones for this last stint, so he might be able to make some positions back up.
And Lee, this puts the field in the danger zone right now. Lundgaard for the first to make the last stop. If a yellow came out, Lundgaard would cycle right to the front on sticker reds. Wouldn't that be a story?
With 26 laps to go, the youngster leaves. Meanwhile, status quo as far as James Hinchcliffe trying to stay on the lead lap. Will Power growing increasingly frustrated. Marty?
And Lee, I think they're going to cut this window a little bit shorter for Will Power. Ron Rzucki told him a moment ago about 2 laps. Earlier he had said about 5 or 6 laps as Alex Palou makes a pass a little bit further back around Pato O'Ward. So I think Power's going to cut this window shorter. And to show you the example, Scott Dixon has been the first guy to pit all day long. He's coming next lap, and I think Will Power's going to come right after that.
Look to the back, you'll pick up that familiar blue NTT Data Honda. That's championship leader Alex Palou. Put the Spaniard in the mix now in this race with a fight for the podium, and his championship lead as they run now. The points have blown out to a 50-point advantage. 42 was the advantage that he started this race with. This day, that didn't quite go to plan at the beginning with the way that his engine mapping was working or not working, is turned around beautifully, Marty.
Boy, Lee, just never know where you can win a championship, and it's not always the days where you win races. Sometimes it's the days where you survive. You look at the last 2 weeks for Alex Palou, the near misses last week at Nashville, and then today with the engine mapping, as you've mentioned a few times, Townsend, calm the entire time, never a panic. They have worked out the engine mapping thing for the most part, but look at what he's done. He's the fastest car on the racetrack that last lap, now sitting in 4th, growing that championship lead and shaping up as the man to beat for the title in 2021.
Yeah, he's very Scott Dixon-like on the radio. Doesn't say too much, never gets upset, never raises his voice. Colton Herta right in front of him now, getting under pressure from Romain Grosjean. He has been manic lately on the radio.
And all of a sudden, we've got the top 6 cars, 5 cars really, in the same shot now. It is packing up at the front, and a lot left to play here.
It is time to bring the action. Look at this, clearing Cody Ware. Ware will stay out wide to let his teammate Romain Grosjean by easily. Palou is there, and Power's lead is less than 2 seconds. Look out.
That was really nice timing by Romain to get by Cody Ware, his teammate, and now he's right there on the back of the gearbox of Colton Herta.
What a great collaboration this has been this year. Dale Coyne Racing with Rick Ware Racing. And it has just worked beautifully.
And remember the podium here in May for Romain Grosjean, and he's sitting in third right now. Kind of been stuck in third for the second half of this race, but the one disadvantage, you guys mentioned it, zero push to pass. The one advantage he has as Alex Palou makes a move back there, holding on to the fourth spot. He has been terrific at the end of these runs, has that 51 car been for Grosjean. So we'll see if he can catch Colton Herta and get a second place finish, back-to-back podiums here at the Indy Road Course.
It is on. Power, Herta, Grosjean, Palou, and let's not discount Alexander Rossi.
Wait a second,
Whoa,
Lee.
look out. Palou's got problems and the championship leader is out.
The motor's gone. Either a turbo or the motor's blown up. This is catastrophic for the points.
We had just said that his lead had blown out
Caution.
to 50 points.
Caution is out.
Got a little fire at the back on the left side.
Palou is out, but so is the yellow
Fire
flag.
button.
This is
Press
going
the
to
fire
stack
button.
up for a restart now.
Who's going to be the best out into
Green.
turn one? And Power's trying to escape. Off goes Will.
That was a really early restart, 2 corners before, so he didn't want to wait Townsend to the front straightaway and get drafted. But Grosjean now looking at the back of Herta. Will he pop out? Herta blocks. Oh, big move on the brakes
Look
by
at that.
Grosjean. What a pass.
Oh, but he locked up. He got a little wide. That might give Colton Herta a chance to cross back over. I thought Grosjean was going to fire it straight off onto the grass, but he didn't.
Hey, maybe this might be Romain Grosjean's chance to rewrite history, so to speak. Remember he got passed right at the end of the race by Rinus VeeKay? Maybe he's going to do that to Will Power here today.
Used tires for Herta, stickers at the start for Grosjean, and I think that's going to pay dividends here in the last 15 laps.
Meanwhile, Ericsson there in the red-white Husky Chocolates car puts a move on Connor Daly as teammates Pagenaud and Newgarden also duking it out. But Grosjean has one significant problem. He might be fast behind the wheel, but he's used all of his push to pass, and with 14 laps to go, Power is in the strongest position of the field. With the most seconds remaining, this is going to be close. O'Ward and Rossi.
These guys tangled last week and ended up in the tire barrier, and the team just told Pato, take it easy and get to the end of this race.
You're within 19 points of the championship lead. Pato O'Ward up against the wall.
Oh.
Rossi squeezing him. Inside, the pole sitter gets that position back.
Little bit of a lockup from O'Ward, but he makes it work up the inside, holding on to fourth position. Rossi coming right back.
Oh, he's going to be on the push to pass now. This isn't over. Oh, sideways in the fast chicane.
There's Power, Grosjean, Herta. This fight for fourth is epic between Rossi and O'Ward, and then Jack Harvey. Graham Rahal, who has made up 9 positions from where he started in this race. Awesome performance. And then his teammate, Takuma Sato, was right behind.
With Palou's engine issues and all of the other mixed positions here, Joseph Newgarden would be just 57 points back as they run right now. So Newgarden has taken a tough day and making the most of it points-wise as Bourdais in that black and white rocket car and Ryan Hunter-Reay duke it out.
These guys all champions right here, pounding into each other, both of them off on the grass. 4-time champion, Ryan Hunter-Reay a champion, bang wheels.
Teammates beside each other, Hitch and Hunter-Reay, clear that. So what's happened
What
is
the
that...
hell was that? I don't know. We'll get it reviewed. Nothing we can do now. 12 to go.
Here's McLaughlin on the outside in the car shop Chevrolet of Felix Rosenquist, wheel to wheel.
Could be more contact side to by side. These guys have all been pretty well behaved until the end, until it's all on the line. Elbows flaring big time.
And Power, when I asked him earlier this week how badly do you guys need a win on this 12 team, he said, quote, we're pretty desperate. Just 2 podiums this year, and at his best racetrack, Will Power looking at possibly his 5th win at the Indy Road Course. How about Romain Grosjean sitting in 2nd position, trying for back-to-back podiums here at the Indy Road Course? You know, he kind of based out of Indianapolis all year long, took the family on a road trip around America in the RV for the last 4 weeks. They have head back to France. He would love to send them back to France with a podium finish. Speaking of podium, right now Colton Herta sitting in that final podium position, and what a recovery after Nashville last week with a dominant car sitting in third right now. And look at that, the 21 car sitting dead in the water, Lee.
Caution's
so caution on the track.
Yeah.
We're going to have another restart.
Another restart. Will Power has to see those rearview mirrors
We get to restart it here.
VK's been sending it up the inside all day long. He's backwards over in turn 7, Paul.
Yeah, it looks
and
like
I just wonder if maybe it's been one send too much. Let's see.
Well, he's coming down. He
No,
got
it's
the
going to be
chrome
McLaughlin.
horn. McLaughlin gave him the horn right there, so
ready to go. It'll be 6 laps when they cross the yard of bricks.
Green, green.
Here we go. Green, green. Power leads the field.
Paul, no games from Will Power, just an early attempt
Have a
at
little
the
pressure here.
restart. He's mastered it once again,
Might have a
opens up a
little bit of
gap on
pressure.
Grosjean, taking away any shot going into 1.
yeah, he went way early. He wanted to make sure that there was no opportunity for Grosjean to get a draft off of him. On the next lap, he'll have available push to pass. But there, Scott Dixon mired all day in the middle of the field.
Yeah,
So-
Dixon went to blacks on his last stop, and it just hasn't worked out. Meanwhile, penalty is issued for the number 3 car of Scott McLaughlin for that contact that we just saw on Rinus VK. He's sent to the back of the field for avoidable contact.
Been a rough day. Got off to a wild start for McLaughlin with him going airborne on the opening lap, and now a late race penalty. Power, Grosjean, Herta, Rossi. Can Rossi do anything about his Andretti Autosport teammate to get his first podium of the year?
I know he's going to try.
Yeah, he certainly wants to. He wants to assert himself as the team leader within this team. But right now, Colton Herta has the measure of him, but Will Power starting to pull away.
5-7, you got the momentum. 5 to go. No pressure into 1, bud. No pressure.
How much does that coaching help?
Well, Power knows what to do. I mean, he's one of the winningest drivers in IndyCar history, one of the fastest drivers you'll see on road and street circuits, but it's still a nice reminder. Even the very best can benefit from just staying calm, staying focused on what matters. And it should give Power a huge amount of confidence to know that with 70 seconds of push to pass in the bag, don't forget a lap time is 73 seconds right now for these drivers. So Power has an entire lap of push to pass still in the piggy bank to use.
Paul, you said it with 1 to go. Here's the white
1.3
flag.
seconds.
You said it at
1 more
the
to
top
go.
of the show. The France family and Roger Penske,
No pressure
Penske
from behind.
Entertainment came together to make this happen. NASCAR, IndyCar on the same track, on the same weekend. How good would that be for the captain to see one of his guys drive to the checkered flag?
Oh, and it's so awesome. We're all under the same umbrella with NBC, with sports cars, NASCAR, IndyCar. What an amazing weekend.
It's going to be great. You're watching Liz Power. It's like she's watching her husband take his first win, potentially, of his career.
Not his 40th.
Not his 40th, but how therapeutic will this be for the driver of the Verizon 5G car? So frustrated most of the year. He's 10th in the championship, 9th as he runs right now. Lee, he's almost there.
And look, he'll be the 9th different winner this year in the NTT IndyCar Series. Turn 12, cruise through to turn 13, 1 more corner to go. It has been a long time, too long. It was here last year in the Harvest Grand Prix where Will Power won. Power, there's nobody better on this track in an IndyCar. Will Power wins.
Hey, man. Way to go. There you go, boys. Finally. Finally. I owe it to you guys because you have been such a good crew and I have not been putting it together.
How badly did this race team need this moment?
Yeah, we needed it as a group. I can't tell you how good these guys have been this year. Flawless in pit stops, and just they've given me the car, and we've just obviously had some bad luck, and obviously I've made some mistakes as well. So stoked to get the Verizon 5G car in victory lane, because we haven't we haven't done that ever. So I'd been thinking about that coming into this weekend, but can't thank Chevy enough for the engine and all the work those guys have done. And oh, what a relief, man.
Watch the Bommarito Automotive Group 500, Saturday, August 21st at 8 p.m. on NBCSN.